And you know, part of evolving is about your vision catching up with God's vision for your life.
Amen.
And you see, I had a vision that I didn't fully understand. I just saw a multitude. And so I prayed a second prayer. Lord, will you do what you need to do in me so that I can minister to this multitude that I see in my dreams? And God took those two prayers as an invitation. I was at a pastor's conference. It was lunchtime, sitting in a huge restaurant, and I was sitting opposite a prophet. Dangerous place to sit. And she looked across the table at me and she said, "The problem with you, Joe," I mean, what a way to start a word of the Lord. She said, "The problem with you, Joe, is it's all about position." Ouch. And I remember in that moment just thinking, that's so mean. Because I really, really love God with all my heart. There's nothing I want more than to please him. But you see, there was truth in what she said. Because every achievement gave me a sense of worth. Every job title that I've just described to you, when I met new people, if they were Christians, I wanted them to know I was a pastor. If they were non-Christians, I wanted them. In fact, my new job, earning mega bucks, didn't have such an impressive title. Board director, world's biggest PR. Oh, I preferred director of communications for the Prince's Trust. Every job title gave me a sense of validation. So I sat and said nothing, and then she carried on. Some people don't know when to stop. And she said, "The honest truth is, you have never faced the issues from your childhood." I was probably just letting off steam, but that's when I started to argue. I said, "I don't know what you're talking about. I've had inner healing. I've been set free from..." And then suddenly, the Spirit of truth broke into my heart. And suddenly I was faced with my truth. And my truth was this: if you were to strip away every job title, if you were to take away every achievement, every accolade, every contract won, every great message preached, if you were to strip away even my role as wife and mother, just Joe, I'm not enough. And I cried and cried. Remember, I said I was in a big hotel restaurant surrounded by pastors whose opinions were far too important to me. And I wept and wept and cried as what came out of my heart was, "God, I'm not enough. I'm nothing." And on that day, God started a brand new healing journey.
Glory.
He took me back to memories. You see, this is the thing. Your upbringing is the only one you've ever had, so you think it's normal. And even the bits we know are weird and wacky, we think, well, I survived. I remember God bringing me back to the moment when my mum tried to kill my brother. I remember God bringing me back to the moment when I nearly drowned. I remember God bringing me back to all these different memories in his perfect timing. Week by week, he would bring up an old memory, and I would then put some time on my schedule. Time with God. Some of it, my husband's arms would be around me as I would cry. And God started to transform me.
Glory.
Change me. You see, I'll never forget the day when the Lord said to me, "Joe, I'm not going to raise you up. While raising you up will make you feel like you're now of more value."
Come on. That's right.
Deep.
Speak.
And you see, what is
Ricky?
it that makes you think achievement gives you value? You know, I'll never forget the day when I prayed and I said, Lord, I knew I was raised in a crazy home, loads of stuff went on, but I knew I was loved by my mother and father, so what was the big deal? Why was I riddled with rejection and full of insecurities? Oh, the worst intro for me was, meet Jo, she's my pastor's wife. Everything inside me wanted to go, I've got value too. I remember thinking the only other woman on earth that gets defined by their husband's role is a farmer's wife. It's true, and she cut off the mice's tail with a carving knife in a nursery rhyme. But I hated it. And week by week, God would reach into the depths of my heart. He would heal buried pain and trauma. He would heal that rejection, because this is the thing. I asked him, I said, Lord, I knew they both loved me, so why was I such a mess? And I heard two words that I'd never heard put together before. He said, conditional love. That's right. You see, when you're only celebrated because you succeed, it tells you that you're only as good as your last achievement. Yeah. When you're only affirmed, and when you only experience your father's affection, when you come home with a good school report, it says you have to do well in order to be lovable. And God's saying, I want to heal your heart. Conditional love hurts. God started this amazing journey. Week by week, month by month. Do you know God often heals physical bodies instantly? Do you know with your heart?